All right, problem number 3 is 7x minus 4y equals 0, and 9x minus 5y equals 1. So as they're set up, we're not graphing them, so we have to try and solve them. If I add them together as they sit, I can't get, oh, you left me hanging. Can't start without that. All right, I can't add them together to get a letter to go away. So what I have to do is then I have to decide, should I get rid of the x's or should I get rid of the y's? Well, then kind of in my mind, I think about, okay, 7 and 9, I'd have to multiply the whole top by 9 and the whole bottom by 7. Or if I want to get rid of the y's, I could multiply the whole top by 5 and the whole bottom by 4, where one of them becomes negative. So I would probably choose to get rid of the y's. Okay, so I'm going to multiply the whole top by 5 and the whole bottom by 4. And I have to remember, I need one of them to become negative. It doesn't matter which one, but I need one of them to become negative. Well, I want one positive, one negative. Yeah, you're right. Okay, so I'm going to choose it to be negative 5. So I'm going to distribute over the parentheses. So that's going to give me negative 35x plus 20y is equal to 0, because negative 5 times 0 is 0. And then on the bottom, I'm going to distribute that all the way through, and that's going to give me 36x minus 20y is equal to 4. So the nice thing is, once it gets to this point, if I add these together, negative 35 plus 36 is 1x, or just x. Those cancel, so I find that x is equal to 4. Am I done at this point? No. I still need to figure out what my y value is. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to plug it either into the top or the bottom. I'd probably plug it into the top. So I'm going to get 7 times 4 minus 4y equals 0. So that's 28 minus 4y. 28 minus 4y equals 0. Subtract 28 from both sides. And then divide each side by negative 4. So I find I get 7 for an answer. What else from page 223, 224 odds could I help you with? What else from page 223, 224 odds can I help you with? Come on, man. 11? Okay, so for problem number 11, all I want to know is, does this have one solution, or does it have no solutions, or does it have infinite solutions? Okay, so a couple things when I'm looking at it. I want to know, is there one solution, no solutions, or infinite solutions? So what I might do is I might start thinking about the setup of the problem. If I can make both of them y equals, I can tell what the slopes are. If the slopes are different, then it will be one solution. If the slopes are the same, then we have to figure out, is everything the same? If everything's the same, we have infinite. If it comes out to a false statement, then we have no solution. So this one is already set up for us. So the slope of this first one is just 2. Agree? The second one, I'm going to add 2x to both sides, and this becomes y equals 2x plus 5. So what is the slope of this one? What's the slope of the second one right there? 2. So friends, the slopes are the same. Agree? Yeah. So is y equals 2x plus 5 and y equals 2x plus 4, are they the exact same equation? No. So it's not infinite solutions. So that means we have 0 solutions. Okay? Does that make sense? I didn't even have to graph it to find it out. I just had to look at it, use the slope to identify if it was the same or different slopes or not. Anything else? You good? All right, my friends, will you turn in your books to page 225? 225.
I'm so slow at this system.
All right. So the ins and outs. We haven't had this in a while, but I just want to remind you, and those of you who are new, this will benefit you as well. When we have word problems on tests or quizzes, we will have the word problems up on the board, and we will then read it out loud to you, highlight the important things, and then let you figure it out, okay? Does that make sense? Remember we did that way back, it was like, back in September? Okay? Well, we're still going to do it. So now we're just going to try and work these out. And I think, let's see. You have that. You have that, right? That's the same. All right. So decide what's going to be x or y. Set up two equations, solve it, and then check it. Okay, so very first example. This is the same one on yours, right? Okay, so let's read it out loud first before we write anything down. One number is. Do I know what the number is? It's probably going to be an x or a y, right? So one number is 5 more than twice another. So one number is 5 more than twice another. The sum of the two numbers is 26. Find the two numbers. Okay, so let's highlight some things that are important. One number is, and then we also have 5 more than twice another number. Okay, one number is 5 more than twice another. And then it says the sum of the two numbers is 26. Okay. All right. So this whole one number thing, I'm going to call it x as was called out. Is. What does is mean in math? What is is? Is means equal. And then 5 more than twice another number. 5 more than twice another. Another I'm going to call y. So my first equation is x equals 5 plus 2y. Okay? So let's think about this. Before we go further, the yellow and the blue, one number is, one number, a number is equal. One number is. We satisfied it? And then 5 more than twice another. 5 more than, so 5 added to, twice another. Another being y. So we have x and y as our two variables. It doesn't matter what letters you use. We often use x and y because that's just the easiest two. Okay, so think about this, my friends. I want to create another equation. How would I write the sum of two numbers is 26? What does the word is mean in math? What does is mean? Equals. What does sum mean? Plus. So friends, in the pink, if I wanted to take two numbers that I don't know what those two numbers are, but we labeled them in the beginning, how do I write the sum of two numbers is 26 in this situation?
X plus x equals 26.
Real close.
26 is equal to...
No.
26.
Stick with your x, but I have x and I have...
X plus... x equals... x. Y.
I have x and y, right? So the sum of the two numbers is 26. Okay? So I don't know what the numbers are. We automatically call them x and y as two different letters, meaning two different things that we're trying to solve for. If I sum those two unknown things together, if I add them together, it's going to add up to 26. So do I have enough information to start solving this blue and green equations? Is there enough information to solve the blue and green? If so, how would I go about it?
Substitution.
Substitution is correct. Thank you. So, I know this is going to replace here. So I'm going to replace x with 5 plus 2y. I'm going to bring down this other y. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. How can I clean this up a little bit?
Combine the Y's.
Yeah, combine the y's. What's 2y plus y?
Something.
Something sounds good. What's that something going to be? 3y. Subtract 5 from both sides. I'll bring this up here. So I get 3y. 26 minus 5, I believe, is 21. Divide each side by 3, so you said 7. So our y value is 7. So we satisfied one of them. What am I going to do with this y value? What am I going to do with this? Plug it in. I'm either going to plug it in here or here. Okay? It doesn't matter which one you plug it into, the blue or the green. It's going to be the same answer on both. I might choose to plug it into the blue because I'm looking for an x value. The parentheses is where y used to live. What's going to go there now? 7. So you do the math. And 5 plus 14 is 19. All right, so my answer to this problem is 19, 7. Those are, one number is more than twice, 5 more than twice another number. So if I go twice 7, I get to 14. 5 more than 14 is 19. The sum of the two numbers is 26. So if I add 19 and 7 together, I get 26. We solved it. This is our answer. All right, so again, notice how I highlighted things. Now I realize you might not have a highlighter with you. So think about how you might underline things with your writing utensil. Okay? And again, on tests and quizzes, we will indeed have the problems up on the board. We will highlight what's important, circle, important things, but you have to know that is means equals, sum means add, difference means subtract, product means multiply, quotient means divide. I'm out of coffee. Sad day. All right. Hey, friends, may I move forward? May I move to the next problem? Good in the hood? We're going to see.
Careful what you wish for, Dad.
All right, problem number 2. Does this problem match your number 2 on the thing? On Monday, Joe bought 10 cups of coffee and 5 donuts for his office. And that particular day, on Monday, Joe went and spent $16.50. It turns out the donuts were more popular than the coffee. Well, no kidding. Everyone loves donuts. So on Tuesday, he bought 5 cups of coffee and 10 donuts. That totaled $14.25. How much was each cup of coffee? So do you understand? He has coffee and donuts. He bought a certain amount of coffee and donuts one day and cost him $16.50. And on another day, he changed the number of donuts and the amount of coffee he bought. That gave us $14.25. Okay, so friends, I'm just going to write a little note. I'm going to call X coffee and Y donuts. Okay? So I'm just kind of keeping that in mind. I have 2 different things. I have coffee and donuts. Yes, I could have said C and D, but I like using X and Y. And that's just my preference. It doesn't mean you're wrong if you choose C and D. Okay? Yeah, you can flip-flop it as long as you stay consistent with the problem. All right, ready? So on Monday, he bought 10 cups of coffee and 5 donuts. That cost this. Okay. So let's create. He bought 10 coffee and 5 donuts. That cost $16.50. Okay. So now let's think about this. He bought how much coffee in this situation? 10. And we said coffee was X or Y? X. So you bought 10X. And donuts we called what letter? Y. So 10X plus 5Y cost me $16.50. Okay? Do you feel comfortable with what we highlighted and how we got the equation out of it? All right. On a different day, he bought 5 cups of coffee and 10 donuts for $14.25. Okay? So 5 cups of coffee and 10 donuts for $14.25. So what's the equation of that going to be? Perfect. Great job. Okay, we have 2 equations. We have 2 unknowns. Okay, if I were to add these 2 equations together right now, does the x go away or the y go away as they sit? No, I get 15x plus 15y equals $30.75. That doesn't help me. Okay? So I think what we have to do is we have to start approaching this of we have to pick one of the letters to get rid of. And there's not really a right or wrong answer to this. I need to get rid of x or y. X is the first thing I heard. If we're going to get rid of x, yeah. If I'm going to get rid of x, if I multiply the whole bottom by -2, so notice our top equation still stays as is. That just comes straight down. And then our other one, we get -10x minus 20y is equal to -2850. Friends, if I add those 2 black equations together, what letter goes bye-bye?
X.
X. Good. X is gone. So I get -15y equals, let's see, 2850 minus 1650. It's going to be a negative answer, right? Is that 0? That's 0. That's $12? Well, no. That's how much 15 coffees are.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, well, coffee's cheap. Unless you go to Starbucks and they think that they're special.
Go to Dunkin' Donuts cheaper.
Go to McDonald's, you get $1 coffee.
I don't like their donuts.
Hey, friends, does anyone have a calculator to jump to real quick? Nick, you got one? Will you go 12 divided by 15 for me on your calculator? It'll come out to a decimal, and that's okay. Yeah, it can just be both positive. So 12 divided by 15. 0.8. All right, friends. Hey, what is y equal to? What is y equal to? So 80 cents? What's y? What do we solve for with y? Donuts. So donuts cost 80 cents each. Hey, that's a good price for donuts, man. I might go get a bunch of them. I like donuts. All right. So, friends, what should I do with this 80 cents to figure out my coffee price? Plug it in. Now, we have to use some logic here. There are some numbers that are nicer to multiply. I could plug that 80 cents into either one of my y's. So I could plug 80 cents in for the y here, so I'll go 5 times 80. Or I could plug 80 cents in here, and I can go 10 times 0.8. Which one's better? 5 times 0.8 or 10 times 0.8? 10. So I'm going to plug it in right here. All right. So 5x. Hey, what is 10 times 0.8? 8. Now let's solve it. 5x equals 625. Again, if you have a calculator, it's pretty easy to do. 14.25 minus 8, 6.25. Divide each side by 5. What is 6.25 divided by 5? How much? 1 point something, okay. Anyone got a calculator doing it real quick? 6.25 divided by 5? 1.25. All right, so each cup of coffee, this sure and heck isn't Starbucks. Each cup of coffee is going to cost us $1.25. So our buddy Joe dropped $1.25 for each cup of coffee he bought, dropped 80 cents for each donut he bought. We solved it. Here's our answer. You can't get a stomach ache eating too many donuts. I like donuts.
I love how you love donuts, but yet you're gluten free.
I know. Don't feel bad for me. I feel great.
Oh, you should go to Everglow because everything's supposed to
Here we
Everglow.
No, it's
She
really
works
good.
there.
It's really good.
I love it.
Guys,
Like, I work there, so
Love
I know.
it. Yeah,
Yes, it
Yeah, actually.
everything that doesn't have wheat. That,
Yeah,
Right?
they have gluten-free
Bread.
bread, E-type, sweeties, they have gluten-free bread. My grandma
Where's
gluten-free.
like,
So
sorry.
I get it.
we eat a whole
It's
loaf
like
of bread. You
no.
Where is it?
Because there's celiac and there's gluten-free. There's a difference. Like celiac, I think if like you touch or if like food touches me.
It depends on
There's
how
like
it's
allergies. They're
prepared.
different.
Bro,
I have
I have no idea.
what I have found by not eating gluten, and my wife appreciates, is the amount of times that things come out my rear end as far as the gas form is significantly less.
We're gonna have to
I can
re-record
feel that
this.
clear back.
I kid you not. My wife, I know I'm recording.
no, you gotta put that in the video.
It's there. It's there.
Experience.
It's there.
Anyway, on the
I'm
side
gonna go to the video and screen record.
Yeah, at 21 seconds or so.
Not my teacher.
Hey, it's a real thing, man.
Hey,
Real.
hey, is this the next question? Is this the next question?
Yes.
All right. Let's read it real quick. See what we got. It says your next test is worth 150 points. Holy cow. That's a big old test. There are 46 questions. There's 46 questions on this test. Some happen to be 3-point, some happen to be 5-point. How many of each type of question are there? All right, so I know that this test is going to be 150 points. Okay? Okay? But there's something that they tell us. Some are 5-point and some are 3-point. Okay? So X and Y? Okay, so hang on. So we're going to say X is equal to a 3-point problem. And we're going to say that Y is going to be a, what kind of problem? 5? Okay. Okay, I feel pretty good about this. All right, hang on. Hey, how many questions? Yeah, 3 points. X is 3 points, Y is 5 points. Hey, how many questions are on this test?
46.
Ooh, okay, so I'm going to have one of my equations equal to the 150. That's the point value. And I'm going to have one of my equations equal to 46 because that's the test value, like the number of questions. So there's a mix match. Some of the problems are worth 3 points, some are worth 5 points. I don't know which are which, but this is what we have. So if I were to look at the test, if I got my test, so just follow me in this. I hand you out the test. One of the first things that students do is you kind of flip through the test, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, there's 46 questions.
Yeah.
Right? In that sequence of 46 questions, some of the questions are worth more than some of the others. Agree? But so the green is, hey, Stirrup and Stone just handed out our test. I flipped through it. Oh my gosh, there's 46 questions on this test, but I can't do it. It's like, dude, calm down. Calm down. Because we're not going to give that many. We're going to give more. Okay. All right. So this is where it gets a little tricky. And I'm going to kind of box this because I want us to think about this. The test itself is worth 150 total points. Are you following me in this adventure? Okay. So some of the questions are the X questions, and each of those are worth 3 points each. Some are the Y questions, and they are worth how many points each? 5. Okay, so let me just pause there for a minute. So the green is, I'm given the test, I flip through it, and I realize there's 46 questions. Okay? Now, some of those questions are going to be worth 3 points, and some of them are going to be worth 5 points. There's no other point values that are going to happen on this test. Okay, so I know that I have some X questions that are worth 3 points, and I have some Y questions that are worth 5 points. This test is going to be worth 150 whole points. Holy cow. Okay, I think we might be able to do elimination on this.
You think so?
I think.
I don't know.
All right, so I'm going to rewrite this. So I have 3x plus 5y equals 150, and I have x plus y equals 46. Okay, so right now, if I add those greens together I just wrote, I'm going to get 4x plus 6y equals 196. An x or a y didn't go bye-bye. Okay, so I have to figure out something I have to maybe multiply one of the equations by to get rid of the x or the y. So we have to pick. Should we get rid of x or y? What would you like? X or y, your choice. No pressure.
Just get X.
X? Oh, I like x. That's really good. That's first choice.
I hate X.
All right.
I like X.
So x we're choosing to get rid of. So in order for us to get rid of an x, I'm going to multiply the entire bottom equation by -3. So the top equation is going to stay as is. And then the bottom equation, I have to distribute -3 to everything. So I get -3x minus 3y. Negative, what's 46 times 3? 18, carry the 1, 12, 13, 138. So friends, if I add these together as is, the x's are gone. 5y minus 3y is 2y. Okay, I can do that. 150 minus 138, I think is 12. Divide each side by 2. So, friends, 6 of my problems are the 5-pointers. 6 are the 5-pointers. I bet you could use some logic on this one. I could take this 6 and I could plug it either into the y up here or the y down below. Which one looks easier? Y down below. So then I get x plus 6 equals 46. Subtract 6 from both sides. So x equals 40. All right, friends. I bet you we can logically say that we might have this right. How many total questions were on this test originally? 46. Is 40 plus 6 46? Okay, so we satisfied the first thing. Agree? All right, so hang on. If I have 40 problems worth 3 points each, if I go 3 times 40, I think I get 120. And if I go 5 times 6, I think I get 30. And is 120 plus 30 150? How many points was this test supposed to be worth? 150. We nailed it. So we have 43 point problems on this test, and we have 6 5-point problems on this test. Okay? This is a made-up test. I'm not going to give you a 150-point test.
Thank God.
I'm not going to give you a test with 46 questions on. I'll
That
give
might
you
happen in college.
I'll give you many more than 46.
College.
Heck, you just got to go to biology. The biology final exam, oh my gosh, 200 multiple choice questions.
In college?
No, here.
Oh, yeah.
I go and try and run the Scantron, and the teacher's like, and it's like, dude, how long? Oh, I got 300 of these to go through. And you're like, oh.
Is there only one machine?
No, there's 2.
Still not helpful.
Yeah.
Come back tomorrow. Let's see what the hell.
Oh, I mean, they go, because you can scan the 2 fronts and the 2 backs. They go, right, and then they flip it over, right, and they flip it over this way, and then flip it over this way, and they do it to every test. And you're just looking at them going, dude.
This is like 236 or how many problems times 2 times like 300 or how many?
150 students. Yeah, it's crazy.
That's like, I took the, I lost 500, like 100 and
That's too many.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's too many.
25?
I mean, I'm thinking, if you give a 200 question quiz, I think you've asked a question on every single itty bitty topic you have ever spoken about in that class.
And he definitely.
And you're wondering why kids are getting only 120 out of 200 right.
Well, it's also like for us teachers, we don't remember all of that.
Exactly.
Oh, I do.
So
I'm kind of a big deal.
Elvis.
All right.
Elvis.
All right. Ooh, last question. Can we do this?
Yes.
We all ready? Deep breath. Poke the person next to you in the eye.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
You almost did it. You almost did it.
Why'd you poke that kid in the eye with your pencil? Because Stirp told me to. That's the good question.
Well, actually, go on after this. I think Morgan's tucked in.
that's the scary part.
All right. Last question. Here we go. My friends, I was checking out the sofa this weekend, and I found 20 coins under the cushion of my sofa. 20 coins. You got that right. All right. So hang on. Let's highlight this. I found 20 coins. I found 20 coins. Agree? All right. So they were quarters and dimes. Okay? So then I counted up all my money. I went 10, 25, 25, 10, 10, 25, 25, so on and so forth. And I realized I had $3.80. Okay? Can you follow this? Dude, I'll tell you what, you find 20 coins in the cushion of your sofa, it's been a long time since you cleaned out the cushions of your sofa. So now y'all going to run home and check out how many coins are in the cushions of your sofa.
I don't call it sofa.
Couch? Okay. All right. So I'm going to use X and Y because I like X and Y. So what are my two unknowns? X and Y is correct, but what's going to be X? What's going to be Y? Quarters and dimes. So we'll call X quarters.
Absolutely.
I could have flipped it, though, and I'll call Y dimes. Okay? All right, friends, how many coins did I find total?
20.
20, and they all happen to be quarters and dimes, right? So if I took my quarters and my dimes and I added them together, I have 20 coins. They're like, dude, check it out. I found 20 coins. And then you notice, wow, they're all dimes and quarters. Okay? All right. So here comes some logic. We have to know this. Friends, how much is a quarter worth? 25 cents. And 25 cents as a decimal is 0.25. And friends, how much is a dime worth? 10 cents, so 0.1 dimes. Okay? There's my two equations. My green, I reached in, I found 20 coins. They all happen to be quarters and dimes. And I was like, sweet, I found 20 coins. They're all quarters and dimes. And then I go and I counted. I go 10 cents, 25 cents, 25 cents, 10 cents, 10 cents. And I realize after I get done counting that I have $3.80 that are made up of the quarters and dimes. Okay?
Where are you using Y net?
Oh, I was. Ooh. That's a good catch. Quarters X dimes Y. Quarters X dimes Y. Thank you. All right. Okay, I like this first equation just fine. The second equation is not my best friend. The one in red is not my best friend. It's got the D word in there. Decimals. So, if I multiply everything here by 100, I wind up getting 25x plus 10y equals 380. Okay, now I don't have decimals. I don't know about you. I feel a lot better that I don't have to deal with a decimal right now. Okay? So it's a little trick. I have two decimal places. You multiply everything by 100 in that equation. Decimal is now gone. If you have single decimal place, multiply everything by 10. If you have three decimal places, multiply everything by 1,000. Okay? Hey friends, if I add these two black equations together, I'd wind up with 26x plus 11y equals 400. Does that solve it? Nope. So I have to think, do I want to multiply the entire top equation by negative 25 or by negative 10? Negative 10 is a much nicer number. Do you agree? 10's a good friend. I'll multiply the whole top by negative 10. Distribute here, here, and here. So second equation stays as is. Is there something that goes away if I add these equations together now? Yeah, the y's are gone. Okay, so I get 15x because 25 minus 10 is 15. Is equal to 380 minus 200 is 180. And boy, I just wish we could use calculators in this class. 180 divided by 15 is anybody. I got gum. How much? 12. There we go. Hey, friends. You shouldn't get a decimal. If you got a decimal, you might have made a mistake. All right. So my quarters are 12. Just by looking at this top equation, how many total coins did I find? I found 20. 12 of them happen to be quarters. So if I have 20 coins in all, dimes and quarters, how many dimes do I got?
I was about to say, couldn't you just do like process of the multiplication? If you don't want to solve it. again.
You could. Huh. So we have a couple word problems to work. Agree? All right. Hey, you guys want a whole lot of homework just in case there's a snow day? That way it gives you something to do. Go shovel the driveway. I got math homework.
You're not gonna get it done, babe. Just suck it up now. I doubt that. You know that when I was in middle school, it was a world. Stop worrying that.
All right. Page 227, 228. All of them. You got